This is Mary Egber from Comage Fiber Arts, and this video is part of the complete wool scouring guide. We're going to talk about how to determine breaks and why the ping test may not be completely accurate. And if you read in the book, you will see the documentation about how the ping test came about and how it may not be accurate for wools of this day. All right, so in the book, it discusses why the ping test is not as accurate, and that machinery from the mills and home equipment put about 7 pounds of force through the fiber, and as it does that, it can tear it. So we're going to show how to test that, and I got a cheap fish scale from Walmart that has pounds on the outside and kilograms on the inside. So what I do is I just pull from both ends till I get about 7. So it gives me a rough estimate of how much force I need to pull and check my fiber locks. So each fiber has its own different properties, like if fine merino, fine grade wool versus medium grade wool versus coarse grade wools. They all have their different properties and strengths, and I find that the more coarse the fiber, the stronger the lock is. It's not as, it's because the micron's bigger, so it's thicker, has more chemical bonds, so it's stronger. Fiber will break at a certain point, but we just need to make sure that the fiber can withstand at least 7 pounds of pressure force. And in my book, you will see why you don't do certain preps with certain grade wools. And that may be your frustration of saying, why is this happening? Why am I getting so many neps? And the book will explain everything to you. Okay, so the first one is a Charla, I'm probably saying it wrong, wool. I don't know if you can see that crimp. Oh my gosh, the crimp is so tiny. So I'm going to take a lock, and this is the ping test. All right. I'm going to bring it up to my microphone and do it here. So you can kind of hear the ping, right? Okay, so that's the Charla. That is the ultra fine merino. This is another fine merino. So I'm going to take a lock of this and do the ping. And what's really interesting, I'll bring it up a little closer to my microphone. What's really interesting is as the crimps get larger, the tone gets lower when you do the ping test. Okay, so this isn't a beautiful Corriedale. And again, I don't know if you can hear much difference in the ping tone, and I'm not sure if that's what you would go by. This is a beautiful Romney. Look how big those waves are. It's probably like 1 wave per inch, and this is really low. That's super low. All right, so now we're going to test pounds of tensile force, which means a force that is pulling apart. So I'm going to take about 1/4 inch of the Charla, and I'm just going to pull 7 pounds of force. Okay, and this is really a strong wool. If I would take apart a very small piece, I could tear it, but that does not mean this wool is weak. Fine grade wools inherently are very strong, and you'll learn so much about these in my scouring book of how to deal with these beautiful, really, really tender fibers. They're tender because the micron is so small. Okay, here's that other merino. Now this one is really interesting. I'm going to take a small section of that one. 7 pounds of pull. It pulls apart easily, very easily. I probably have about 5 pounds of force on this, right? So this is going to impact your carding, your picking, I mean just everything. And this is the wool that you say, why did this happen? What's going on? So I'm not pulling nearly with 7 pounds of tensile force, but the problem is this pinged, right? That pinged. All right, and here's my Corriedale. 7 pounds. This stuff is really strong. This is a beautiful, beautiful, strong fiber. And then, of course, my Romney, which is so strong. It's like steel. I can't even break that apart. So when you have a weak wool, there are reasons the wool is weak. And again, the book goes into that. If you're a new breeder or a new wool grower, you may want to look into why, what's the possibilities of it breaking. Also, the book goes into detail about if you have certain breaks in your wool, how to process it, because you still can process wool that breaks and still get a pretty good product. All right, my book is The Complete Scouring Guide, How to Wash Wool, Mohair, and Alpaca by Mary Egbert, and you can find it at camagefiberarts@yahoo.com. Or sorry, camagefiberarts.com. That's the website. It may be on Amazon, so take a look there, and thank you for watching. Bye.